Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name's Tom Conda. I'm a student of Professor Bankens Combat Jiu-Jitsu. Today we're going to talk about bullying and how we solve that problem in our schools and our cities. Professor, how do we solve this problem of bullying?
Well, Tom, bullying has been around for centuries. It's not something this is not something that just started. The thing about it is, over probably about the last 10 years, we've just taken note of it because of the media, different things that are bringing it to us. But this is not a new problem. A lot of times we look at something, the one thing that we have a little bit different is we have the web now, so we have cyberbullying. There are some different types of bullying going on versus just the schoolyard bullying or just the everyday bullying in the neighborhood. One thing that we have to do is we have to put steps in place, but not just steps that work. And if we put those steps in place, those steps will work, and those steps we'll start to see, I believe, our children start to be able not to just physically defend themselves, but also verbally defend themselves.
One more question. What are the keys to prevention?
I feel like the keys to prevention, number one, in our academy, for instance, we have different steps set up for how to deal with the bully problem. And our number one step is teach your kids how to talk. That's the number one step. Millions of kids every day try to act like they're sick or they have a problem and they don't want to go to school. What we have to really do is break that down to a point of where they understand that it's okay to talk. We need to teach them who to talk to. If I'm at school, we need to teach them to talk to our teachers. If that doesn't work, we need to teach them to get to the principals. But the main thing is, I need to know when they get home that they're having a problem at school. Many parents don't even know that there's even a problem until their child either gets beat up or gets in trouble. So it's imperative that we teach our kids how to talk and who to talk to. And the second step is teaching them how to talk to whoever's picking on them. A lot of times the kids will soil up and they're too afraid to speak out and say, why are you picking on me? Why are you doing this to me? And so the bully just gets free rein at them, and the next thing we know, it goes from verbally talking to either punching or kicking or whatever the problem is. So that's number two. Number three, we have to teach them self-defense. But not just self-defense that actually works. A lot of times we and I get this from many kids, they'll ask me and say, well, when do I use this? Do I wait for the kid to punch me? Do I wait for him to slap me? Or do I wait for him to corner me in the bathroom? When do I use my self-defense? That's another thing. They need to know when they can use their self-defense and when it's okay to do it. Many people in our society have made our children paranoid to defend themselves. The normal question that I get from a kid, is it okay to defend myself? And that's tragic. It's tragic that our children feel like that in our society. But we've made them feel, well, I'm going to get in trouble, so if he hits me, I can't hit him back, I'll get in trouble. And that's another thing. They need to know when it is okay to defend themselves. That's very important.
Sir, thank you. The last question, what would you tell parents if they told you their child was being picked on?
Well, like we just talked just now, number one is that, a lot of times kids just drift, and especially if they already have low self-esteem or whatever is going on in their lives. A lot of times kids just kind of drift through and they have really no direction. And one thing about self-defense, a good self-defense academy, it will give them structure. It will really teach them the steps, like we just talked about, the steps of prevention. The first thing is prevention. The first thing is not to punch this kid in the face or take him down and armbar him. Right. The first thing is we need to teach our kids prevention. And if we don't teach them prevention, then what do they have? And then the kids that aren't afraid to defend themselves, all they know is to hit. Yeah. You got dad at home going, if he picks on you again, you punch him in the face. Right. Well, okay, I admire dad, but in the same token, is that the right thing? I say no. Right. So we need to teach our kids prevention, and again, the steps are the prevention. That child needs to know when it is okay, and not just when it's okay, but how do I defend myself? Right. You know, most kids don't even know how to put their hands up to block a punch.
Yeah.
Or how do I stop verbal bullying? How close does the bully need to get to me before I take action? These are things that we set up in our academy that are very, very, very important for that child to understand and to learn.
Very good. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, brother.